In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways to help support the water within you. Sit tight. Welcome back to another video. My name is Jen Palco. Today we are going to talk about the water element and ways that you can help boost the water within you, especially if you're feeling a little out of balance, out of sorts right now. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, I've done a lot on how to discover which elements may be out of balance. Maybe you're not familiar with the elements at all, fire, earth, metal, water, wood. Then I suggest you check out some of my other videos. I'll put links to a bunch below to give you the baseline of what I'm talking about here. But today we are going to focus on water. This little blue guy right here, okay, in the 5-element cycle. Now, the winter solstice has just happened, so we are in prime winter time right now. And what does that mean? Well, each element has a particular season associated with it, and water happens to be winter. But now that the solstice has passed, we're going to see that even though we're still in water now, we're going to eventually move from dark to light, I like to say. So it's going to move from winter to spring, from water to wood, okay? And but now we're going to focus on water because we're still in this time of hibernation. Water is about introspection. It's about getting out of the do mindset. Because when you think of something like seeds in the ground, okay, we're going to relate this to nature. You need to have seeds in the ground absorbing nutrients before anything can grow, before anything can break through the earth. So it's the same with you and your body. If you don't rest, especially in the winter when we tend to have less yang energy within us, then we're going to burn out, we're going to get sick, we're going to have pain, we're going to have manifestation of symptoms and emotional stuff, maybe fear and anxiety, all kinds of things. So that's why we want to take care of our health and try to have our elements be as much in balance as we can. Okay, so when I'm talking about the water element, what does that look like? Well, I'm going to give you 5 ways to help support this element. Number 1 is to get lost. And by get lost, I mean get lost in yourself, in your own thoughts. Like I said, water is about going within, turning within. It's not about projection and externalization and outward, We'll get there in the next phase, probably in wood, where the new start of growth in spring. But now we need to hibernate, we need to rest, we need to recharge, especially during the hours of 3 and 7 p.m., which are water time. So that's when the energy circulates through the meridians, throughout your body, for the particular organs associated with water, which are the kidney and urinary bladder. So it's important to rest, it's important to get enough sleep, it's important to accept that when we feel tired, we acknowledge that and we acknowledge ourselves. But it's also a time of basically looking at all the puzzle pieces within us. Okay, and really diving deep into ourselves, whether that's journaling, whether that's meditating, anything that goes inward. That is what that is what water is about. And metal can be too, going a little more on the spiritual side, but water, it's the most yin element. So it's about turning inward. It's about flowing instead of forcing. So if you think of water, a nice flow of water, it's a beautiful thing, right? It's a nice even flow. If you've ever seen a body of water and you're just kind of mesmerized by the clarity, and not only the clarity, but also the nice movement of water. So that's like in your life. If you're always trying to force things in your life, you may get stagnant, for one. You may be like that mucky kind of yucky water. But if you have a nice smooth flow in your life, then things go easier. It's a more beautiful kind of orchestrated way to live your life, and that's what this season is about. If you try to force too hard during winter, then just realize you are using a lot of energy, a lot of chi, Again, you may burn yourself out if you try to do those things and you don't have Mother Nature to back you up on energy levels. Number 2, stay warm. And by that, I mean, mostly, let's talk about nutrition a little bit here. Eating warm foods and drink. Obviously, we want to drink a lot of water during the water season, but just make sure you're not throwing ice cubes all the time in your water, because that's really difficult on your digestion. Your body has to actually heat things up before it can digest, so it takes longer. So that's why, you know, the raw foods, like lots of cucumbers and raw carrot, all that kind of stuff, a little better in something like summertime, where we want to balance that heat factor out. But in winter, we want to have things more like, and a lot of this could just be common sense if you think about it. What do you crave in the winter? You crave comfort foods. You crave warm soup broths. You know, teas more so, warming stuff. So soup, tea, bone broth is great because the kidneys and the water element have to do with the bones of the body. But also things like salty fish, seaweed, if you like that kind of thing. I don't, but to each their own. Apparently it's good for you in the winter and water season. Anything dark color. I don't mean like licorice jelly beans necessarily. I mean like black beans. Okay, anything that has a dark color. So eating more warming foods, comforting foods, staying away obviously from a lot of the sugar, a lot of the processed stuff, obviously a lot of the always eating raw, cold, putting ice in your drinks. It's better to have tea, it's better to add some ginger to your food, cinnamon, you know, things that warm you up. Number 3, be around water or listen to the sounds of water. So, you know, in winter, and this goes back to that not pushing so hard. If you're associating with something like exercise as well, it's a way to strengthen your water is to not go too crazy with like your HIIT workouts and your, you know, 6, 7 days a week, things that burn you out. It's more beneficial for this element within you to balance it with more passive exercises. So I don't know if you like Qigong, Tai Chi, but you could do just like walking is a good one. So kind of ease off a little bit. You can still exercise. Obviously you want to take care of your body, but ease off a little bit because again, you don't have this like crazy amount of energy within you. So walking out in nature, when I say being around water, even in the winter, as long as you bundle up, wear your scarf, wear your hat, wear your gloves, it can be really therapeutic and a meditative experience, spiritual experience, to just be around water, especially in the colder months. There's something about, for me personally, there's something about, you know, I remember the first snowfall last year. I just went out, took my camera, took some pictures of like the snow as it just fell on the trees. And to me, that was so beautiful. And that, I just felt that really enhanced the water within me. It really, there was something just wonderful about it. So if you like that kind of thing, even go into the ocean, not in the ocean, but around the ocean, take some shots, be around water, listen to, you know, tracks of water, of rain, of anything like that. Do a puzzle that's like a winter scene. Watch movies with a lot of like wintry snowmen and things, which we kind of do anyway around the holidays. But that's going to enhance this for you. That's going to really put you in your element per se, and get you in the mood. Number 4, pick up a philosophy book. Or not. But basically the water element has to do with knowledge. It is about going within, but it can also be about learning new things, kind of outside of the scope of your box. It's about going a little deeper. So water element, especially people who are constitutionally have strong water within them, they like knowledge because knowledge is power, right? Wisdom. So you can read a philosophy book, you can go to the library and scope out maybe new material, or maybe you don't like to read, but that's okay. You can still just step foot in a library and you'll feel it. You'll feel the wisdom within you. But basically, kind of enhancing your natural wisdom, because we all have it within us. And you know, water element is, so the spirit of water is something called the ZHI, and that has to do with wisdom. Wisdom is power. So kind of go outside the realm of what you normally do, maybe what you normally read, what you normally consume, and you could either journal, so instead of being a consumer, you can create and get down your thoughts, or you can do something like learn something new each day, and that will really enhance this element for you, because it is really the one that has the most depth. So think of water, think of the ocean. It has so much depth to it. Yes, there's the superficial, top, but there's so many layers, and there's so many layers to you, and there's so many layers to information and knowledge and all kinds of stuff, and ways that looking at the world and looking at reality, that when you can just learn something new or think about something differently, it's really, really going to tap into your water. And number 5, good way to support your water element are to actually use some acupressure points on yourself. So there are 3 I'm going to give you, okay? One is called Kidney 1 on the bottom of the soles of your feet. So you can either rub the bottoms of your feet, or you could take like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball and just kind of rub your foot over it, and do that maybe like 30 seconds at a time. Do it a couple times a day. That is the lowest acupressure point on the body, and it helps ground us. So it helps enhance this internal effect of water. The other thing, massage your kidneys. If you don't know where your kidneys are, they're your lower back, okay? So you could take your fists, you can put them behind you and just kind of rub your kidneys. You can tap on them. Don't beat yourself silly. Just lightly tap on them, especially in the morning. That can be a good exercise to help wake up your body, wake up your organ system. And then the third point is upper kidney points. So if you go about 2 inches from your collarbone, like right below the bone, you can rub them, you can gently tap on them. Those are very spiritual points in acupuncture, acupressure. I believe they're called spiritual storehouse or something like that, but really help, not so much like grounding effect, but help us connect more to our own wisdom, our own will, the Ji in our body, and can really enhance this element. So you can use those just as like a morning routine if you're throwing in some passive exercises with stretching, things like that can really help enhance this element for you. So if you have any questions, please let me know. There are a number of other ways, but these are a good baseline to get kind of an idea of what the water element is about and how you can help boost it within you. But I just want to reiterate that water is really about, all of these elements. If you know what season is associated with the element, like winter with water, you can be the observer out in nature and see what happens in nature. And that's pretty much a good idea of how we as human beings should kind of follow along with that, because we're all connected. So if we have, things not growing out in nature and everything's cold and everything's like underground and absorbing, then why should we as human beings be all gung-ho and do and create? No, we are connected to nature. Nature is connected to us. We are nature, right? So a lot of it is just, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, Jen. It makes a little bit of sense, just a little bit, right? So nature is like the perfect indicator for what we should do with our bodies, what we should eat, how we should take care of ourselves, what kind of activity levels we should do, that sort of thing. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below. I put out new videos, try to every single week for you on Chinese medicine, philosophy kind of stuff, self-empowerment, self-cultivation, self-help, self-anything. So let me know. But until next time, have a great day. Peace.